Hi, thanks for coming back to my channel. I'm continuing with the volume 9 prompt from the Roxy Journal of Stitchery project of Textile Tales, and I'm working on the Wind in the Willows page with the caravan and toad. So I've done some more red work to outline the caravan, so I think that's completed now. I've only put 2 wheels on it because I'm going to have different wildflowers at the bottom here and also on the next page next to it, so that will be a double page in the book. And so I'm going to do some stitching of wildflowers at the bottom and on this page. And I've been using some templates, so they're iron-on templates from Tilly Rose's books. This is her new one, Woodland Walks. It's got some great patterns in the back that you can iron on, so I'll probably use some of those flowers in my design on this page. I feel like some bluebells. So yes, I look forward to doing that part of it, but at the moment I'm going to outline the toad, and I did it originally with pencil, but it's quite faint. It does, the more you handle it, it does wear away, so I'm just going to go over the top of it now with my friction pen. These are great. You can get them in a variety of colours, and they just remove when you add heat, so you can iron it off. I actually use a pair of hair straighteners and it does a good job. It does remove the lines, so I'm just going to draw over my original tracing just so that I can see it a little bit better. And then I will outline the toad in a green. He's wearing a waistcoat, so I'm going to do that one in a brown variegated thread. You just go over what you've already traced. There we go. So, are you also joining in with the project? It's been a good prompt. So we've got 6 months to do 6 different Textile Tales books. So I'm going to base mine on childhood books. So I'm sort of planning the next step, because this will be the last pages of this particular prompt. I've done a winter scene already with Badger, Ratty and Mole, and I've done a page with the river and some ducks. So I've been planning the next step, the next book, which I'm going to be basing on Aesop's Fables. I think that's how you pronounce it, but that was a book from my childhood. I like the books because they've got morals to the stories, so I'm going to look forward to doing that prompt for February. So I've still got a couple of weeks anyway to do this, and all the flowers around the edges and on this page, so that's what I'll be focusing on for the next month. I'll make his leg a bit fatter there, but it's just a guide when you're drawing it out. So there we go, that's easier to see now. So just going to outline toad with a green. I've got different green threads. I picked them up off eBay in bulk, so vintage threads. So I've got a selection of greens. I do like these Van Darney variegated threads. I've got another green one, so I might use a combination of these two colours. So let's thread the needle and outline. Make a knot at the end. I've ordered some new needles, so we'll see how we get along with those. Some chenille needles with slightly larger eyes should help with the threading. So I'm just going to outline toad with back stitch again, as I did the outline of the caravan. Okay. I'm going to go around toad. Sorry if you can hear in the background my dog walking backwards and forwards, trying to get my attention. There you go. I might just carry on outlining toad off camera, and then I will come back when we start to do the thread painting to fill it in. So I'll just show you how I do it, but I don't think you need to see me outlining. Okay, I'll come back in a moment. Okay, thank you. Okay, so off camera I've outlined the frog with green, toad I mean, with green, and I've thread painted the waistcoat with a variegated brown thread. So you've got a bit of variation in the design, so it looks like fabric. And now I'm going to thread paint the rest of the toad, and then we'll put some highlights and some definition into it as well afterwards. So I'm just going to show you how to thread paint. So you just do small short and long stitches close together, going in the direction of the legs in this case, so it goes in the same shape. So just take your time with this, and you can see the colour sort of building up. It's good to outline the figure first, and then it's just colouring in really with thread. You can see where having different sizes of stitching just fills up the space nicely. And then I will add some buttons with a brown thread onto the waistcoat and just put some definition here to sort of separate the left and right sides of the waistcoat. And I've been thinking about the flowers. So Tilly Rose has got a couple of books that have transfers that you can iron on and sew, so they've got lots of different flowers. So I might do that, or I might freehand them and use my friction pen to draw on, and that's heat erasable, so once I've sewn it I can iron out the pen marks, so I might use that. I've also thought to give it a bit of a 3D feel. I've got some artificial flowers that I've got, I'll show you. Can you see? It's got small petals and you can pull them off the stems like so, and I thought these would be quite pretty to add a little bit of definition on the flowers. And you could just put a centre stitch to stick it onto the background, and I thought that might give some interest, so I'm going to do a combination of that and some embroidered flowers as well. So I'll make it look, give it some dimension. So what I might do is continue this off camera, but it gives you an idea of how to thread paint. Just filling in all the gaps. With your thread. This is a perlé thread, so it's not stranded cotton, so it's just, you just use one single length of thread, which is I quite like it. You get them in different thicknesses. I like a size 12. I think this is slightly thicker than that, but this was a vintage spool of thread that I got off eBay, so I'm not exactly sure the size, but I think the 12 is this weight here, and I use for the waistcoat. This is a little bit thicker. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video there and come back once I've finished the toad. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, I've been working on Toad, and I thread painted his body with a green thread, and I've outlined it with a black and brown thread just to give it some definition, separating the arms, and I've highlighted the mouth and above the eyes with a cream thread. I might neaten up his mouth a bit, it was a bit tricky, so I can go over that again. And I've made some French knot buttons in the waistcoat. So the next step, which I'll probably cover in the next video, will be some flowers. So I'm going to do some embroidered flowers, but before you start embroidering the flowers and embellishing this existing fabric, I'm going to put some fussy cut flowers on the bottom here. So I found a floral fabric that's got lots of different flowers that I can snip out and fussy cut. So I've cut some, I'm not sure what kind of flowers they are, hedgerow flowers I'm going to call them. So I've cut around them, and this is where you can place them and embellish on top of them. So I've started there. And you just have a look through your fabric and sort of decide on the flower to take. So I'm going to just take this section out here. And I'm going to fussy cut around the flowers. This is to offer it up to just see if it looks right, and then you can go back and cut it closer. It doesn't matter about it fraying. That just sort of adds to the texture of the piece. You just fussy cut around it. And you can just check to see how that looks. So I'm going to cut that in half. It's just building up a base that you can embellish. So quite like that. Like so. You can find some different floral fabric to add, but I quite like that, and it will just goes across the 2 pages. So I will pin that down. A bit overlapping, I like it looks like the flowers you have in the hedgerow, rambling roses, perhaps that's what it is. Like so. So I'm going to have a look for some more floral fabrics to add to this area, and then next video I will embellish and add some embroidered flowers on top of it. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely weekend. Thank you.